ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Now, in today's video, we are going to look at the Death Star. Yes, the FV215B183. One of my most played tanks, in fact. It is one of my most played tanks in the game. In fact, I think it could even be my most played tank. So, the tank itself, the tank itself, let's just have a look. I think it is. So it's almost 1,000 more than my second most played tank. The Death Star used to be really fun. Like when I first joined the game, and even now, like it's one of the only tanks in the game from start to finish. Well, from start to now, people want it. Everybody wants the Death Star, and why? It doesn't matter if you're good, if you're bad, everybody wants to play the Death Star. In fact, currently, it's been like this for a very long time, it is the most played tank in Blitz. And that is going by the stats. I can't remember how many battles it's actually had in the last 90 days. But yeah, it's the most played tank in Blitz, and people just want to play it. It must be OP. It must be. If every single person almost wants to get this tank, surely it must be overpowered. It's far from overpowered. Now, once upon a time, people literally wanted to get rid of the tank. They wanted to get rid of it because it just broke the game. No, I've never thought it broke the game. Yes, it has high alpha, the highest alpha in the game. But it never broke the game. Yes, you can change an outcome of a game with one shot, but you could do that with a lot of tanks, you know, the old KV2s, the Smashers, the Jag Panzer E100s, anything like that. Anything with a big gun, you know, E100 with HE, you could do 1,000 damage. That can change the outcome of a game. But with the normal round doing over 900 damage, sometimes even over 1,000 damage, and if you could get your HE off or your Hesh doing 1,600 damage, then yes, of course, it can change the outcome of the game. But sometimes what people never seem to take into account, because it's so bad, that could be the only shot you get off. You could have the high roll 1,600 or 1,500, and that is it. You can then be deleted. Absolutely. If you're getting rushed by medium tanks, you could be absolutely deleted. It's one of the most frustrating tanks in the game, because if you do miss your shot, you have a mega long reload. And if you are being rushed by medium tanks, you could do 0 damage. And it is one of those tanks where there's no really in between. Sometimes you get one shot off. Sometimes you don't get any. Sometimes you get 6, 7, 8, 9,000 damage. It is one of those tanks, and there's not many tanks out there that is like that. So hit points, I mean, 900 hit points, 1,900 hit points. It's got no armor. You might be able to get a lucky troll bounce, but that is just about it. So you've got no armor whatsoever. DPM 2,862. We are running with calibrated shells, so we do lose a little bit of DPM. But you need that penetration, because of course it does have Hesh. You do need that penetration. You've got a 20 seconds reload. Your penetration standard is 315, so that is just with your AP. So you'll get through most things just with your AP, but no one plays the Death Star to shoot AP. It is all about that Hesh. 242 Hesh pen. You can get through a lot of things, almost pretty much everything side on, everything from the rear, and a lot of tanks, even frontally, you can get that Hesh off. Of course, it does have cheap Hesh, but yeah, that's not even worth running. 950 alpha on your AP, and of course, 1,210 on your Hesh, and 1,390 on your cheap Hesh. So yeah, you might, it's worth carrying a couple of cheap Hesh, because you might, you know, find a grill that you can delete even with the cheaper Hesh with just 88 pen. Your aim time 4.2, so yeah, obviously it's not great, and the dispersion 0.407, not great, and it does only have 5 degrees of gun depression with a top speed of 38 kilometers per hour. So we're going to watch 2 replays, one from my pretty little self and one from Owen, one of our clan mates. this first replay, and I'm not afraid to admit it, this replay will show you what could happen, what can happen, and not always what happens, but if you mess up, in this tank, this can happen to you. Now, you've got to also remember, you're driving a Death Star, the highest alpha tank in the game. If you are spotted, people will go for you. They will target you over anybody else because you got that gun. Nobody else has a gun like yours. So if you mess up and you get spotted, you will be deleted. Watch. So I get a shot here on the Pajero. Lovely shot. Beautiful shot. Obviously, I'm spotted, so I try to back up, and that's what happens. I last 30 seconds, but at least I managed to get a HE shot in. So it's not all doom and gloom. At least I didn't finish on 0 damage, but that is usually what is the case. Like, if I would have missed that shot, which is, you haven't got good aim time, you haven't got good gun dispersion, I could have easily missed that shot. And if I would have missed the shot, that's 0 damage. It's 0 damage. The Death Star is probably the tank that I've done 0 damage the most in. A lot of people do it, you know. I'm not afraid to say I do 0 damage at all. It's just one of those things, you know. If you miss your shot, or if it bounces, then you have the potential to do nothing, literally nothing. Or you have the potential to do 5 shots and still get 7,000 damage. It is great. It is great. It can be fun, but of course, it could be the most frustrating tank in the game, especially when you want a beautiful shot like that there, 1340. Other times you have a clear shot, you have a rear of a tank, and you are just rubbing your hands together, loading, locked and loaded, wait for the aim time to go all the way down, and then you just donk your shot. It's very annoying when that happens. Or you try and aim at a weak point, you aim, you shoot, and it hits a track, and you only do a couple of hundred damage. Now, I've lost out on 8+, sometimes even 9,000 damage due to them reasons alone. Like where you aim in, you take 10 minutes to aim your shot, and you still freaking miss. So this is what I'm talking about. So our guy has got 2 beautiful HE shots. He's on 2.5k damage. You know, 2.5k damage is more than most people's average damage in this tank. So if he gets another HE shot off, he's going to be on almost 4,000 damage, you know. And most times, if you end the game with 4,000 damage, you know, you've had a good game. You've had a really decent game, and that's acceptable, but not with this tank. So here, there, 3 shots, 4k damage. So if he dies right now, he's still done his job. People will still look at the damage and think, well, you know what, this guy had a really good game. They don't look at it and think, what the hell, he only's got 4k damage, he's only shot 3 times, what the hell. So there we go, 4 shots, 5,250 damage. There is no other tank like it in the game, and just because of that HE, the high alpha, that is why people wanted to remove the Death Star. I think it got removed in the PC version, and people were calling for it to be removed in Blitz as well. But if you do manage to get the tank, like it is the most played tank, make sure you just aim your shots. Don't rush anything, because if you miss your shot, then you've got a long reload, and just like my game, you could be deleted very, very, very quickly. Other than that, I've said it in a lot of my videos that I've done, sort of top 5 tanks, you know, most played, the highest win rate, the lowest win rate. This has always been the worst performing tank. So it's the most played tank in the game. Everybody wants it. Everybody's playing it. Everybody's using that Hesh. They're all doing a lot of damage. Like, their alpha does a lot of damage, but yet it is still the most underperforming tank in the game, and it's always been like that. It has the lowest win rate, and I think it will always be the same. So 5 shots there, 6.5k damage. Absolutely incredible when you do have a game like that. But honestly, it's not always your RNG works in your favor. More often than not, it doesn't go in your favor, and it is a frustrating tank. Hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I thought I'll make a Death Star video. It's been a while. It is my most played tank just because of that alpha, and it can be fun. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye.